welcome back to Soulcast episode 14. We've got the whole squad plus more here, so we'll go through and introduce ourselves. I'm Desh, or Jade, as you know. Who am I joined with?
Me, Maxwell, Monarch. So I just cut Anth off. I'm sorry. Yeah. Next.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks for having. Thanks for being here, Max.
Got Focus, Moz, you know who it is, me, Alex, and we're joined with.
And I'm Joey, or otherwise known as Anthracite. You guys probably know me as in the chat.
Yep. If you're a Soulcube community member from the Discord server.
Yep. Discord.
Yeah, you know.
And you're here with us today because, like us, you participated in the Game Maker's Toolkit Jam for 2020.
Yep.
And I reckon we'll talk about that today. Our Tell Us Tuesday is related to that anyway, so it's probably gonna be extended, and then maybe some other stuff towards the end of the episode. But I think we can just kick ourselves off with discussion around the games we made, I guess. Do you want to talk a little bit about your entry first?
Okay, so my entry was a lot of fun. So obviously at the moment there's a whole lot of stuff going on, and all that stuff is in the way, including school. I've got heaps of school stuff outside of doing games, obviously.
Yeah,
but
we get you, don't worry.
Yeah, so it's good to actually just take a break from doing constant schoolwork, even through the holidays. So what I ended up doing was I made a top-down shooter during the jam, and that's on my itch.io page.
Yeah, I'll chuck the links for everything in the description.
Yeah. So I think, how's the rating work? Was it by how many people rated it?
I don't know. When you go to the page, there's 4 metrics. Hold on, I'm gonna whip it up. So, Max, do you want to talk about what the fucking Game Maker's Toolkit Jam actually is?
All right. So, I'm sure that you all know what a game jam is if you're not familiar with it. Basically, it's just like a competition, or not. It's just kind of like a big test of your skills about how fast and efficiently and well you can make a game in a small period of time. That's usually very chaotic, and it's open entries usually. People just rock up and get a team together and make something that follows a theme usually. So this game jam set up by the Game Maker's Toolkit, which is a YouTube channel,
which I'll link.
Who focuses a lot on principles of game design.
It's theory stuff.
Yeah.
Which is pretty. Do you guys watch their channel?
I've watched a few of their things. I don't watch all of their content as it comes out. I'll flick around. If it's something good, then I'll check it out. But I'm not an avid viewer.
Yeah.
I watch.
I actually watch him quite a fair bit.
Was?
Yeah, whenever his things come up there, I usually watch them. They're not too long, and it's interesting when you can I like to draw what he takes from other games and see if I can apply them to games that I've played myself. A lot of them I haven't played. Games that he talks about, but so yeah, I think that he does a very good job doing the stuff. It's really good. We're looking at the psychology of playing and how to hook the mind into doing certain things, or to give of decision making or versatility or dynamic, even when it might be something that's actually there. So it's quite a good YouTube channel. Guys should give a little check out.
Quite a good channel, quite a solid jam. The theme this year was out of control. And we'll talk about how we tackled that before. But this was our first Game Maker's Toolkit entry, for the jam. Have you done it before, Joey?
I was planning on doing it last year, but just circumstances that happened last year, I wasn't able to be available that weekend. So this was my first Game Maker's Toolkit one.
Yeah, rad. This was our second ever like actual like weekend jam too.
Weekend jam.
Yeah, weekend jam.
Yeah.
So still like fairly new to it, but I feel like y'all are pretty fast at pumping out assets and shit. I reckon for the next jam we need to set up get GitHub working.
Yes.
For the project, so when you guys are done with assets, you can handle the fucking the pipeline of getting the shit into the game, because that like takes up
it all bottlenecks on you.
Yeah, which is bruh.
Yeah, I can definitely tell.
I guess we'll get into more of that later when we talk about how our project went.
I think this actual jam had one of the highest participant counts in the Game Maker's Toolkit Jam, because it has been running for like a few years, but this one has been significantly higher. But also I think this is definitely like close to a milestone, or if not a milestone, in game jams in general.
Yeah,
how many
it'll be because
people
of
did
COVID, right?
Yeah, everyone's at home.
You gave us the stats, I remember, on the day.
Yeah,
wasn't it like 16,000?
I know 16K signed up. Joey, do you know how much people actually submitted?
So at the moment, because for some reason this number keeps changing every day, but there's about 5,460 people ended up entering something.
Oh, right.
And that's just teams too, so think about how many if there's like people who have teams of like 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever.
Because there was no limit for your team size. So you could have
really?
Like a full... Yeah, I don't think that there actually was. I'm curious to see if there were like full studios grinding out this thing.
That would be crazy, yeah.
I
would do it if I was like the CEO of like a massive AAA company. I'd be like, "Yo, boys, we'll pay you double. Just come in on the weekend."
That'd be great.
Them. Yeah.
Oh,
awesome. I just say okay, like after the weekend, like free drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good as
Oh well, I don't think that happened though. Did you guys play many other games from the jam?
Nah, I did not.
I was a little bit busy. Like I played a couple, but yeah, I didn't go around like actively just searching for like an hour or two, just looking at ones. I played some as they kind of got leaked around and stuff.
Yeah, I played actually quite a few of them. I played for 2 or 3 hours.
Oh,
like
geez.
the next day.
Gaming session.
Yeah, just going around, just curious, because like I haven't actually done a whole lot of game jams before this. Like I have entered 1 or 2 small ones. Like this YouTuber Matthew Palahay, I think his name is. He does one, or at least used to. I don't know if he's doing another one anytime soon, but I've only done a couple of jams, so I decided I'll just go through and look at some of the others. There were some really good ones in there, but honestly, a lot of them were, you could tell they were made in 48 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's really good to have your games like in browser. Like when I'm like scrolling through for the games from jams, I'm not gonna go fucking downloading all these random.
Yeah, it's
like,
way more
files.
accessible.
Yeah.
If
you have your game running in browser, then you're laughing like a fat spider, which is good because yours was made in Stencil, so it runs on Flash.
Yeah.
Do you guys even know what Stencil is? Like Moz and
no. Well, first off,
I've heard of it before, but I haven't really.
I'm gonna say Flash. Flash works if your name isn't Alex, because I Flash downloaded. So
not a gamer. Clearly not a gamer.
Yeah, not a gamer.
Clearly doesn't play cool maths games.
No.
Or anything like that.
My understanding of Stencil is like Scratch on like steroids, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's basically what it is. It's heaps easier to use than Scratch, in my opinion. You can do a lot more with it.
Yeah, lots of the fucking movement in like Scratch is like super jaggy because it uses like the move in steps thing.
Yeah.
Though I haven't actually been on Scratch in ages, like since they updated it with Scratch.
All that I know now is like Scratch has some Minecraft thing.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, I saw all that stuff. I haven't been on it though. No.
Well, that's rad. I guess I played your entry. Like that was one of the games that I did play. I'm planning to
me
go
as well.
through. Yeah, I'm planning to go through the rest of the Soulcube community entries for like a video. One weekend in the future. Oh, after we get our video done, Moz, have you sent me the footage yet?
I'm currently doing that. I'm sending all the stuff on Drive.
Oh, rad. Okay, yeah. So we we were actually we all got together on the Saturday, to jam in person. I think that's really good. I think that was like way better than if we were just all sitting at home for the entire thing.
Yeah, because I reckon the communication,
Yeah.
like being in person, made the planning stage way more streamlined.
Yeah, I mean that's the stuff that I find fun about game jams. Is that
Yeah, so do I.
Which is obviously different for you, Ant, because you're a solo dev, right? There's none of that for you. Do you feel like you're missing out? Like, would you like to jam with other people, or is it just fine going solo?
Yeah, well, obviously, if I'm going by myself, I don't have to argue with anyone.
Yeah,
that's the main thing. Is I don't have to argue with anyone while I'm working on it. Because I have done like at school and stuff with some of my friends. We've sat down and made games together, and it's good to do it in person. We have tried doing it like using Google Docs to send everyone everything, and that didn't go well.
No.
But yeah, most of the time I just go solo because it's easier for me.
Yeah, that's fair. Everyone wants different stuff out of game jams. And there you go, Moss.
Different kinds of ways of actually developing games, because when you're something popped up. Because like when you do it alone, you have a lot of time to do what you want, how you want to, but you also have to be conscious that you cannot do what a 3-man team can achieve within 40 hours. So it's like the more people you have, the more rough and tumble stuff you have. Like ideas getting thrown around and concepts and whatnot. But you also get, so like maybe your idea doesn't come into fruition as much as it would if you were a lone game developer. But all different kinds of aspects. Right?
Yeah. Like when we all rocked up on the Saturday when we had to like conceptualize an idea, I reckon we spent like a solid hour like just trying to come up with something that we all thought was achievable, right?
Yeah.
The Moz, like you came into the day thinking of like no shooters puzzle. That was your mentality.
Yeah. Right? I thought let's just, because we've done shooters before, and let's try something different.
Yeah, that was fair. I was like, I didn't really want to make a shooter either, especially after Nancy probably don't know this, but the last like community event thing we did was like a workshop on top-down shooters. So I was like, the amount of fucking times that I've written fucking top-down shooter code is literally doing my head in. So I was like, I cannot do this for another weekend. So we ended up on something pretty bizarre, for better or for worse. I guess we'll get into later. I think it's a good segue now to talk about interpretations of the themes and what we did. If Anthony, you want to kick yours off, because that's where we originally started, and then we went on a bit of a tangent.
Yeah. Okay. So my game, the way I interpreted the theme was, the way I worked on it was I actually sat down while I was having breakfast, because obviously for us in Australia it started at like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it was 5 a.m.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, so I didn't end up getting up out of bed till like 6 or 7 or something. And then I basically sat down, had my breakfast, and had a pen and paper and was writing down different interpretations of the theme. So I was trying to follow like the I can't remember, I saw it in a video I think, where someone said a good way to approach doing game jams is you break it up into, you do the first 4 hours was all planning and getting your mechanics set, and then the next 44 hours was just polishing it. Yeah. So I tried taking that approach to this, and so for the theme, I sat down with my pen and paper and wrote down a whole bunch of ideas, basically brainstorming it, and then I ended up landing on one that I don't think it fits entirely well, but it still is an interpretation of the theme out of control. So the idea is that whenever I get a theme, I don't like to just have one main idea. Like a lot of people you'll see on other jams and stuff, they'll take the theme and they'll make that just one mechanic or one idea with that theme that's the core application of it. But the way I like to do it is I often get the theme and I spread it across multiple aspects of the game as like an even coding instead of like one core idea. Yeah. So like with Out of Control, obviously you've got, with my game, you have the controls itself is just the mouse and there's no movement controls at all. It's just the mouse. The player follows the mouse regardless and you shoot with the mouse.
Yeah.
So that's one aspect that makes it a little out of control. Going through the comments, someone actually picked up on how that was one of them.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that while I was playing it. I was like, I wonder if there's a reason for just having this, like, because it's unique for a top-down shooter, right? I don't think I've ever played a top-down shooter with like auto move towards the mouse.
So some of the inspiration for that in particular came from like Doom, where like the later Doom games that have come out, they like you to get like up front with the enemies. Like they don't like a lot of shooters now, like top-down shooters and first-person shooters, all of them. A lot of the time, they seem to make you like it's easier to play if you're in cover all the time and trying to hide from the enemy. Whereas I was trying to encourage the gameplay style where you get right up in front of the enemy, so you're always constantly.
Yeah, I played the whole first like half of the game just fucking face checking all the enemies. So that was rad. But then I feel like that definitely came across, especially because of the how the AI can't actually like go around walls. Like you actually have to go and lure them out.
Yeah, like, I feel like hunt them or lure them. I feel.
Yeah, without waiting for them to come to you.
Yeah, that's mostly just lazy programming on my behalf. But,
no, it's really is it easy to do pathfinding in Stencil? Probably not, right?
I haven't tried doing pathfinding in Stencil, but I can imagine it'll get a little bit tedious just trying to set up, because you can change the tile sizes as you go in Stencil, so I can imagine that would get a little bit tedious doing that. But if you just stick with like 32 by 32 pixel tile sizes, you should be able to set up pathfinding pretty quickly.
Oh wow, because that's fucking kind of good in Unity.
Yeah,
they have built-in stuff for 3D, but in 2D they like isn't any like AI like navigation pathfinding support, which is kind of shit. I followed a tutorial like a year or so ago, where I wrote some pathfinding stuff, and that was like crazy fucking like complicated compared to what I wanted to do. I was like, I just want my fucking box to go around boxes when it has a target, but it takes like so long to get that working. So whenever I see like a lack of pathfinding in games now, I'm just like, yeah, I feel you, bro. Don't worry.
Yeah, because in Stencil there's not any built-in pathfinding. Well, I say that now, but there is a little bit. There's like built-in behaviors, they call them, which are just like basically little segments of code that are pre-built that you can chuck onto things. It makes it quicker for prototyping. I found I ended up not using those because a lot of them were I actually modified some of them, because there was one built in that was just a little bit of trigonometry basically to find where the mouse was on the screen and then get any actors or characters or whatever in the game to go to the mouse. So I modified that and I got the player's position and just saved that as two variables and then swap that position out for the mouse position in the code so that they follow the player instead. I don't know why it's not a default thing in the Stencil behavior library, but
fucking asset packs and libraries are the fucking future of like prototyping games. Anyone can just whip up the game now, grab some free assets, grab some free scripts, boom, laugh on like a fat spider.
Well, most of the
what you saying was
nothing. Laughing like a fat spider. I've never heard anyone else but you say that.
What?
You said it earlier in the episode.
Do you know the saying?
Nope.
What? Okay.
Yeah, I've never heard.
It's not just me,
Like,
dude. That's
Probably like some weird Northern Territory.
Really,
type
really
fucking
isn't.
lingo.
No, it must be because I've never heard.
It's from my dad. He grew up in New South Wales, bro.
I've heard it. I think my dad said it before, like
Yeah, see?
once, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Sorry, I've never heard.
Laughing
that.
like a fat spider. It means like, you know, everything. You're. I don't know. You're laughing like a fat spider.
I can have
You're
an
doing
idea.
very well.
Yeah.
I can have an idea, but I've just never heard. Anyway, we'll get back to what was actually told. But,
Yeah.
Well,
Fat spider
what
derails
were we
you.
talking about again? We're talking about
Or how you address
yeah.
the theme.
Oh yeah, so theme with the out of control. So yeah, we go back to the enemies real quick. I set up the behaviors so they did basically all the enemies. There's really only two type of enemy movement that I've got in my game. One is it just rams the wall until because it's just trying to go straight towards the player, and the other, which is what you see them in the bosses and the
axes,
so you see like the blood zombies, all the little stuff in like the corridor style levels.
Yeah,
they're all they're pretty much all that code. And then the only other type that I had was instead of it going directly to the player, it was just pushing the enemy towards the player. So
okay, so that's what it was doing. Yeah, with like the
so that's
axes
what,
and the projectiles.
The axes and like the slime balls and all that stuff. That was all just like pushing towards the player. So you end up getting more of like an orbit around the player.
Yeah, I was wondering like how that actually works, because I fucking doubt you could do that in Scratch. I was like, whatever like motion is going through these things, that's definitely not doable in Scratch.
Yeah,
and those were fun enough to dodge too. I think they added like enough depth to, I guess, predict the motion.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's because it's basically, it's just like magnet to the player basically. Instead of moving directly to it, it's more like a magnet pulling it towards it.
Were they
What was your opinion on fighting the axe enemies?
No, they're good. Were they meant to despawn?
Oh, did you get yours to work?
Yeah.
Oh.
I had to play it.
Wait.
No, when I was playing the final boss, all the slime, those projectiles, they never despawned, even if I like evaded them. Were they meant to despawn?
No.
You can kill them, right? If you shoot them, they don't disappear.
Yeah.
Oh, you oh.
You
I didn't know you were supposed to kill them, so I had like 7 or 8 of them constantly, and I was getting so pissed off because I was waiting for them to like vanish. They just kept on bouncing.
Yeah. Okay. Obviously, that's something I need to take into consideration. That was something I thought about when I was making them. Was because I got
I just never tried shooting them.
It's just a foolish minority.
Yeah, I just never tried shooting them.
Were they?
Yeah, but like I got my brothers to test the game as well, like with like 4 hours ago or whatever.
No, I was.
And
that was. No, you go.
Yeah, that was the one thing they kept saying was they didn't know they had to shoot the axes and the slime balls.
Oh, Muzz, you're not alone.
There we go. How old are you?
I was up at like fucking like 3 a.m. and I was like, yo, can anyone test this for bugs? And no one was online. I was like, fuck. I'm just
not even the Americans. Oh.
No one. And even Spacecraft is usually up at like stupid times. He wasn't on. I was like, no. I got only one person like actually went on the test it. That was Drew from like the Tell Us Tuesday stuff. And it wasn't working for him. Like the game just wouldn't load. And I was like, bruh. Because I didn't know if it was just his machine, because no one else would test it.
Yeah.
So that was...
See, I would have been up, but fucking fate, right? I had to get a cold that weekend. I haven't had a cold all weekend except for the weekend for the game jam. What a shit go.
I woke up in the morning of the jam, and there was just like messages from you at 5 a.m. which is like, yo, I'm feeling really sick. I don't know if I can come to the jam tomorrow. I'm just like, bruh.
Yeah, I fucking stuck it though. Popped some.
Yes.
I literally took everything. Like I went upstairs. My mum's like, all right, I found what's in the cupboard for medicine, right? And I had like a coffee, a Barocca, and then I had like phenylephrine, like the Sudafeds, and then like cold and flu tablets, and then just like some fucking whatever herbal shit I could find that just might marginally help out. Like just from the medication and like the drink alone, I was full. I'm like, I don't want any breakfast. But okay. Nevertheless, I just had my Vegemite toast because I'm like fucking vitamin B12. Kick its ass. Let's go. And then I felt great for the entire day until like 3 p.m. when I just started to die.
Oh, I had a shit ton of Baroccas on that last night, trying to stay up. Our process with the jam was like, yeah, on that Saturday. What did you do? Did you just like get up and like look at the theme before you came, or did you like brainstorm?
No. So I got up like I had to leave in like 20 minutes, and I was like, shit, okay. Let's have a look at what's currently been, typed on the workplace. And it was like at 5 o'clock, and it was like, yo, don't know if I can come. Yeah, like that shit. And it was like, oh. And I think, Jade, you posted like a link to it.
To the theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably did.
Yeah, and I looked at that in the morning, and I was like, oh, okay, out of control. Okay. So then, like, as I was getting stuff prepped, I was just thinking about what we could do for that kind of topic.
Yeah, the way I did it, I just made a doc, and I just like Googled the definition of control, as well as out, and I just chucked that into a big document, and I just like use that to brainstorm, because there's a lot of definitions
that was good
for control,
for like breaking it down and stuff, and looking at like every single possible combination of like interpretations and stuff, like really getting it down to like the like basic forms. That was good,
because we had like we broke it down to like controls, as in physical game controls, and then we had like things that are out of control, like i.e. a virus or whatever, or like game states that are game states that are like out of control. Like we had that puzzle idea where it's just hectic, that's the interpretation of out of control. We had control centers, like how you have, like airport control, and then like individual
every kind of control
of like the player and stuff. And we shot around a couple of ideas. Moz, do you want to like talk about some of the ideas that you like put forward?
Right. So I think like the first one I put forward was like a puzzle platformer where there's basically like a little timer, and the character has to complete the puzzle before the timer like finishes. And when the timer finishes, the puzzle will reset. And that's the out of control aspect. Like the map is constantly changing and moving around, and you're made to adapt to that, as well as like the timer will also change how much time you have for each of them. So that was like kind of the first idea that I had, taking the idea and like making it more of a literal, like, okay, that's out of control. But I think also like I kind of thought about controls, but I wasn't really too far. I know that Jade brought up controls later on.
Yeah, when we were delving further into what we could do with like puzzle platform.
Yeah.
But I also thought like a platformer where, man, I have to think back now to them. One in which like the character has to like is a ghost, so they have to move
Ultra, I remember this picture.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember it. It was
when I like brought up like the concept of like fate as in control. Like I was like, well, my
you brought up some
like
werewolf
was like
thing.
A game where like you're given like a riddle by like the god or the devil or something, and then you have to abide by that riddle's conditions in the game. Like it's like your fate is out of control.
You had that werewolf idea.
Logistically speaking, I have no idea how the fuck we were going to do that. So we like scrapped that, and then Moz, like, you went on to that whole concept of like controlling the fate of people as the ghost.
Yeah, as a ghost. And like originally I thought, okay, let's make a game where it's just the house and it's a ghost and say it's a family. And the house can just be like a 2-story, 2.5D game where all that you're meant to do is try and get the humans, so you're the ghost, and you have to try to get the family to maybe understand a pattern or understand a message that you're trying to say, but it's ultimately out of your control because it's up to, their decisions, and I don't know how, we never really properly fleshed out the idea.
As Moz, I was just like, Moz, I don't know how the fuck we're going to do that in 48 hours.
Yeah.
Moving on, yeah.
So there was a game like that, and then that kind of made me... Oh, there was another one too, which was like out of controls. So at the beginning, like you don't have any controls, and then you have to gain them throughout the duration of the game.
That was kind of like the one that I brought up as well, with the like the puzzle platformer, and you gain certain like abilities or controls for your character, and you have to like complete different sections of the map, and each time you complete a section, you gain like a new control, like a new move.
It's like Metroidvania sort of progression.
Yeah.
And then after all of this, we decided...
We had two more. Like,
what other ones?
We were on the werewolf one for ages.
The one that you came up with, Jade. I think you did.
What, the werewolf one or a different one?
Yeah.
So like, I thought of like a game where like you play as, you gotta like prep, like as the human, you gotta prep for. You're a werewolf, and you gotta prep for when the moon comes. So you gotta like minimize damage as the human. So like obviously like a timer or whatever. Like you gotta like block up the doors, make sure everyone's away, find somewhere to like lock yourself up before you go out of control. And then I assume it would have just been like a werewolf AI, and then however much damage that does, that takes away from your score or whatever. But again,
we
that
had
seemed like too big.
Yeah, because we had lots of different ideas with that
concept of werewolf.
And how to incorporate out of control into that.
There was one more game that I didn't actually... I don't know if I even told you guys about it. It was kind of like... I was envisioning just like a standard, maybe dungeon sort of game or whatever. But there was like a currency that you could find in the dungeon, which was like a control currency. So at the end of like each floor or whatever, you would get to pick an upgrade. But if you didn't get enough control, the upgrade was picked randomly. But they weren't just upgrades. Some of them were like negatives or had like trade-offs and stuff as well.
That's cool.
So it was like if you gather the control, you can pick something that benefits you. But if you don't, there's a chance that you get like some fuck up thing that destroys your entire strategy.
Cool.
And that would have been like a shooter game.
Yeah, I was thinking something like that, but I was like, I don't know. It's just like,
I mean, we could have done like a really basic ass like hack and slash type thing.
Yeah. But I think we never really thought about them because we ruled out shooters like straight away.
Yeah. So that after all of those ideas, actually, which of those ideas do you think had the most potential? They're dead.
Yeah, dead.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
he died.
I died. I'm dead.
Oh.
Yeah. So like, out of those ideas, I really like the werewolf idea. That's something I didn't think about. That's actually, I reckon there's an actual good potential in having a fun game in that one. Because if you think about it, it's almost like a wave-based tower defense in a way, where you have like a set amount of time to like prepare before you have like a section of time that's really not in your control.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Actually, I wonder how much people made tower defense games.
I don't know.
Because that.
I played one. There was one that I played, but I haven't seen any others other than that one. And it wasn't very good.
Oh well, savage. Man, we should have just thrown Pools closed from there.
So I was thinking Pools closed.
Good enough, yeah. Just copy paste.
Out of control. These kids are out of control.
I mean, they are.
We could have. That would have worked really well.
We could have just.
I don't think,
spent 2 extra days just making Pools closed even better.
Exactly. We could have given it a real soundtrack.
Not just like I'm even gonna try and replicate it with my mouth because that'll just get stuck in my head for the rest of the evening. That won't be nice. But...
No, your soundtrack for your game is actually fucking banging. Like, not gonna lie.
That's good as.
Yeah, so you know how I said about the 4 hours mechanics, 44 hours working on polish?
Yeah.
I ended up just spending like the whole weekend writing music.
And that's fair enough. Like, if that's how you want to jam, and that's what you get out of it. That's good, right?
Yeah, it's good.
I made two shitty songs on Bosca CL, but I think they got it through. You know.
I guess they were. Right.
Moz and Max, I don't think I've heard your opinion on the songs.
Okay, you want to know my personal opinion on the
what's your
song?
opinion on the songs?
I don't like them.
You don't like them? Wow, they're fire. Max.
I didn't.
They're alright. I mean, on a scale of like pools closed to, I don't know how I'm gonna make a scale. It's better than pools closed. That's my final.
Yeah.
You've beat Jared.
No, I spent
Maybe
like
Jared.
I made like one of the riffs while you guys were there in like fucking 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I did the other one in like 5 minutes in the middle of the night. And I was like, you know what, this will do.
Though, I do like your sound effects, your acapella sound effects for the characters getting possessed.
I loved them.
Especially
loved
the
them.
mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I must say, the one thing I really love about both our games was we actually managed to nail the sound design, I reckon. Like,
oh yeah,
all the sounds for your game were just, not that they weren't bad, they were just comedic to the...
they were
iconic. They were just like, they made the game.
Yeah. No,
like,
it's a...
Like, seriously, half of your sound effects basically made the game to the whole, like, just the atmosphere of the game came from the sound effects.
It's a Soulcube Jam staple at this point to have fucking shitty acapella
to have
effects.
Desh going,
yeah,
just making some fucking noise in his microphone.
That's sound design 100, fellas.
What I want, just scream into your microphone.
Yeah, I got so much compliments on the fucking voice acting on the each page.
Well, yeah, so you should. It's well-deserved praise. I don't see why you wouldn't.
No, it just feels so bad because I spend 48 hours coding this thing, and the one thing that people like is the fucking thing I spent 5 minutes like recording at like 3 a.m.
But it adds character.
Yeah. No, I'm glad. I don't know how I did that.
It's
I don't
the
know
little
if I've
things.
ever put on like a demon voice before. I was like, you know what? We'll give this a crack. And it worked alright. My voice
that was
dead.
like raw audio as well, wasn't it? Like that wasn't edited or anything.
No, I didn't do
With, like,
anything.
filters.
Yeah. It still had the fucking fan noise in the background. Like that's why the music had to be there to cut out all the fan noise.
Fair enough. Everything serves a purpose.
Yes. I forgot what we were talking about.
Anyway, so after all of that, we came up with an idea for the game.
Oh, yeah, but were you talking about our game? Is that what was happening?
Yeah, we were talking about our game. We were up to there, and then we talked.
Yeah, we got through all our ideas now.
Yeah, and then we got to the end, and then I think I kind of thought of the idea of like werewolf, vampire, kind of more like evil. So then I thought, oh, okay, let's put like Satan into this, right?
Classic Mozzie. Straight to evil.
Let's get God involved. And it was like,
now it's a fucking Soulcube staple to also have religious.
Like it was on like the Sunday Ava or something. I just kind of sat there and I realized that our game jam ideas all revolve around God, like some like religion in some aspect, and I'm like, how the fuck did you all do this? But you're going, sorry.
Yeah, no. So in essence, the game idea is it's like a 1700s Puritan society, so somewhere in like America, young America, and the goal is so originally everything's like out of your control, and you have to possess the villagers and the mice and the little animals to make it in your control. So the aim of the game is all about that, just gaining control from this place.
Yeah, there's a control war.
Yeah. And Yeah, that's bare bones of it. We made little, lots of little things, little stuff.
Yeah, no, I. How do you guys feel about the art you made? Because I think it looks like, pretty like fucking good. Like the
Yeah,
Mm.
it's not bad. Like some assets, some kind of like, like the ones that I made. Some of the things, like I can notice a lot of things that I didn't like because I was experimenting a lot with style and stuff that I haven't really delved into before. Um, and I was like, I don't know, but yeah, like Moz, I like the backgrounds and stuff you made. Those are
Oh,
great.
thanks. Yeah, no, I enjoyed the art aspect of it because I don't do a lot of art nowadays. So like Game Jam is more like me actually getting to do art for a weekend instead of doing other shit.
Yeah.
So it's good. And I especially love doing like stills and stuff like that, especially like backgrounds and houses and stuff. So yeah, I thought they were all right. I don't know about the house sprites, like the houses that I made. I reckon they needed a lot more to them. They didn't have like as much life, or more stuff had to be added to the foreground of the game to make it
Yeah,
look
I
more.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
This
I
is
they
reckon
could have
one
been
thing to do with like visuals, I guess we can learn it for like next game jam is Moz, you and I should like definitely take our time, even if it's just like half an hour, like 20 minutes or something, to like nail and synchronize like an artistic goal and like an idea of style.
yeah,
And like
because
all of
we had
our
vastly different styles.
yeah, no, because from the way that I perceived how we were like discussing the game and stuff, I took it in more of like a stylized kind of like tongue in cheek type thing.
Mm.
And like I noticed that like a lot of the backgrounds and stuff that you made were very, like high fidelity type stuff. Um, and I was
Yeah,
like,
no,
okay.
my idea was like we have these high fidelity backdrop and whatnot, but the game is like that. So it's like kind of paradoxical. It's like, hang on, what? Like, there's all of this art
Yeah,
which makes it seem like the contrary. But
I
yeah,
think
I
the
reckon
overall thing still ended up like the blend of the styles still worked.
yeah, I think it worked. It's just yeah, like I reckon
yeah.
if we can like synthesize, yeah, and get on the same page about the kind of direction visually, for the next jam, that would be awesome. If we can have like a shared document for inspirations and have like a little mood board or something set up, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, good learning curves.
Yeah, Anth, do you have any like as an external player of the game? Did you have any comments on the art style in particular? Or?
I loved it. It was good. Honestly, much better than some of the other games, but not as good as some of the other games as well.
Yeah, I
Main
saw
thing
some games with
was-
beautiful art.
So did I,
Yeah,
dude.
there were a couple of really nice looking games in that jam, which surprised me a fair bit. But yeah, there were quite a lot of nice games. The one comment I'd have, of course, is the houses. They looked just a little bit out of place.
Oh, there you go, Moz.
Yeah, we needed to do something more with the house, but we would have spent a little bit too long.
Yeah, we would have had to sell our souls to fucking Satan to get that done.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Cool. I had something to say and I completely forgot what it was. Oh, actually, we should probably just address like some of like the flaws of us like not finishing the game properly.
Yeah.
Most of the comments we got on the page are just like can't work out how to play, like objective, etc. And I think
Yeah.
I think the objective is fine because it fucking says it, take it over the town. But it's just the communication of how to get there. With the deadline, it was pretty. We did.
Yeah.
Well, I
Just to
did.
watch
It's
it.
my fucking responsibility. Was not as good as it should be, because it's when you tackle a unique concept with unique controls and stuff, it's pretty hard to introduce that easy. Like if you make a puzzle platformer or a top-down shooter or like a typical set of controls or like concept that people already know, it's pretty easy to introduce things and add that to that. But when you like from scratch introduce this new whole thing. Like our game revolves around you moving around as this thing that you can fly around, but then you can possess things and then control them to interact with stuff, and you can like exit out of that.
Like unfamiliar.
Yeah. And when you have 48 hours, it's kind of fucking hard to do that in an effective way, like introduce that. And I think on top of just that overall control stuff, the responsiveness of when or how to reduce despair of like people wasn't conveyed great. I wanted to, and stuff you can interact with. I wanted to have like certain effects, like maybe on the cursor or whatever, when you hover over stuff that you can interact with if you're close enough, as well as like more clear when people are like in a state that they're like gaining despair, because it's not clear at all. I tried like in the last hour or so, I tried getting like a sound effect in to do that, except it kept fucking infinitely looping, so I was like I was like, no, we don't want this. So I had to cut that out, but it would be good to have like a more UI displaying like how many mess items, and more clear on what like a mess event is, and all that. And this is definitely, I think, like in a few months' time or whatever, or maybe I don't know, sometime in the future, when we have a couple of jam games under our belt, I'd want to like put a poll up to the Soulcube community and be like, "Yo, which one of these do you want us to sort of like do a proper job on?" Like not like a fucking long time thing, but just like maybe another weekend,
just a revival,
or a week of like idle time.
Actually, try and add more to it.
Yeah, and this is definitely my current favorite for that, right?
It needs. I reckon that's the number one thing. It needs more. Just needs polish up, I reckon.
Yeah, it needs more communication, overall polish, which is something that not a lot of Game Jam games end up having unless you're a fucking pro.
I reckon go. I reckon with it, one of the biggest things that we could do is like if we got more things that can be destructible.
Yeah, I think more depth in.
Yeah, in my mind when I first thought of it, I thought like the entire place in chaos. So I thought like everything's fucking destructible. You know, like there's just things everywhere. Everything's flying everywhere. You're just like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
Possessing this stuff is just going crazy. But I reckon we just needed more. That's one thing that I reckon.
Yeah, and that's definitely a design choice that I think it would have been a lot better for a game jam too, because people understand. Okay, the game aiming goes to fucking smash shit and jump around and cause chaos, right? Not like we need to get a certain amount of like animals in this room so that the person starts to despair and block them off and blah, 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 blah. Which is definitely something that I think we can work on. Anth, do you feel like this kind of aligns with your experience with the game, or?
Yeah, well, with my game, the way, what was it talking about? Is one of the key things with all game jams is player communication. That's the main thing.
Every single comment that I replied to on the fucking each page is just like something. We need more player communication. something. Full stop.
Yeah, like even I think there was a comment on my one even about player communication. That's just a general thing with game jams. Is that I think like as game designers we don't like pay enough attention to that. Like we sit there and we're playing this game. We're changing the game through 48 hours. We're very familiar with it. So we know how it works. Yeah. I think the main issue is in then communicating that to the players, because ultimately they're the ones that determine how well your game performs in the jam itself as well.
Next jam, we're just gonna record like a 5-minute like tape recording of us explaining how to play the game. That plays before every time you boot it up, it's just this video of us explaining.
Hi guys, welcome to our game jam submission. So Okay, first thing, how to play the game. Okay. So,
Yeah, but no, it's definitely something that you run out of time for. It comes under. You always think of like, I was like, fuck, I just need to get this. You just need to get this game out there, but then you run out of time to make it accessible, and it's not something that you can just like tack onto the end either, right? You should be building that accessibility through the entire game design, not just like a tutorial level or like tool tips. It should be, and if you want like a good game, it should be an intrinsic part of how you design the game, that it's easy to pick up without like a fucking tape at the start of the video explaining how to play it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because if you look at Half-Life 2, I think at the start of Ravenholm, the way they introduce the zombies is with one of them with like the saw blade in it, so that it instinctively straight away tells the player this is how you kill a zombie pretty easily.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like things like that.
Yeah, all things to keep in mind when doing jams. It's not just part of the jams too. Like there's fucking games that have done it worse than us, and there are games that have done like a really good job at communicating how the game's played. And
Yeah.
I'm sure those people have made more than fucking 2 jam entries.
Unless they're just like Prodigy or some shit.
Maybe there's some mega pros. But overall, I enjoyed the gym. It was a fucking long weekend. Like I was working earlier in the week, and then I get off and like, what should I do on my weekend? Oh, fucking stay up all night coding. Yes. I think
you're up for ages.
Yeah, I think Moz was a bit over it by the fucking end of the first day.
No, wait. End of the first day.
Yeah,
that was when
it was just me and you at my house. Max had left.
No, I was just over the making the house because I was like, I don't know what the fuck to do here. Because I didn't really like it, but I was like, I just need to get it done. So I kept on like screwing around with different things, and it was like annoying me. But now when I got home after that, I just like I did the background, and that was like really chill. So I just kind of vibed after that. But,
yeah, I don't know how. See, I'm not an artist. I don't know how vibey it is to just like go and make. Oh, I'm fucking coding. This is fucking stressful, bro. It's just like, oh fuck, get the next thing in. All right, code it. Oh shit, it's not working. What's not working? All right, fix this, bro. Fuck. Ooh.
Yeah. One of the biggest like annoyances for me, right, is because I was working on 2 different computers. So I worked on my laptop at your house, Jade, and then when I came home, I was on my desktop, and my desktop has like better color, like feedback or whatever, and I booted up my old like files, like my animations and stuff that I made at your house, and all the colors were fucking awful. I'm like, oh no, so I had to go around and fucking edit all like this color sprites because I had all the hues fucking wrong and stuff. Because like when it gets to a certain point on the screen, it all just becomes dark and like you can't really see anything. But when you view it on a different display, it's all different. So it's like, fuck, I have to fix this now. My
external monitor is so shit. Literal like colors change as they move position on the screen. Like they become lighter like the lower down they are, and then like more saturated as it goes up. So depending on where I put stuff on the screen, it changes how it looks.
Yeah, luckily for me, I have I think it's pretty good for color display because I base all my art off of this monitor, like when I can. So it better be fucking correct, or else all my stuff just looks like shit for every single person who isn't me.
No, my thing's got like a blue hue. I'm sure you guys know it already because like whenever like I'll post something, it always because I perceive it all with a blue hue. I have to like compensate for that. So everything I make tends to be in a fucking red hue, and it is just annoying.
Get yourself a gaming PC.
Yeah, maybe.
That's like one of the things that I'm curious about, like digital artists, is that, but like, should you calibrate the colors for like the tip top monitor, or should you calibrate the colors for like shit monitors that everyone will have?
Average Joe monitor, yeah.
so then it'll look good for everyone. But like if you're actually viewing it on like proper equipment, it just looks fucking awful. It'd be funny if you have like two different builds. So you have like this build is for a computer
plebs
with a screen that's actually good. This one, if your screen looks like dog shit, have fun.
Yeah, because
I guess that's why.
you recolor some of the posts that you put on the Instagram, right? So they're better for like shitty phone monitors.
Yeah, no, that's like because I'll make all my stuff on my laptop and then I put it on my phone and it just looks fucking awful. So I'm like, okay, time to use Instagram filters to touch this baby up. And then, but also I was, as well as it looking a lot different with like contrast and stuff. According to some sources on the internet, posts with Instagram filters are more favored with the algorithm. So,
oh really?
Yeah, I read that on like a
Also,
Instagram posting 101 for advertisement, and I was like, all right, that's why I add a filter.
Man's taking a masterclass in Instagram advertising.
Yeah. Except when you look at all the posts on laptop, it just looks fucking horrendous, or like on your desktop, it just looks awful, like super exposed and shit.
Yeah. All right.
Has the like quality on Instagram decreased? Like has the picture quality on Instagram decreased?
I think it does because it has to like
no, because
compressed or some shit.
For some reason, like because Olivia was doing TikTok before.
Oh, lovely.
She wanted me to film it, and then like there was a pretty set, so I was like, hey, I'm going to take a picture of this. So I took a picture and I posted something, right? But then I realized, I was like, why the fuck does it look so shit on my iPad? And then like I looked at all the pictures and it looks like they've reduced the video, like the picture quality.
Yeah.
All of them look like they've just been dramatically reduced in, how many pixels they show.
Yeah, it's just compressed and shit for,
compression
whack.
Yeah, it is. It's part of their compression. I think I've heard about it before, and we were looking at it in our software classes as well. We did like a little bit of a case study where they Instagram actually like compress their files to like insanely small sizes so that they don't jam up their servers.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, because I like looked at it and I was like, it looks more shit than usual. Strange.
Instagram.
Wow, you actually do case studies in your software class? We do fucking nothing.
We do fucking binary division in software.
We like do like 3 lessons of binary division, then we play fucking video games for the rest of it. Like that's our software class.
Man, I wouldn't know. I don't know.
I mean, like the rest of my class is sitting up the back playing, I don't know, whatever the current Flash game they've found on the deep web is. And I'm like one of the only ones that sits there and listens to Sir. It's like,
yeah, that's how it be.
No, we most of our like software stuff is like we get given a task and we have to do it. So me and Max just fucking speed run it, and then we have the rest of the periods.
Yeah, it's the best because you can just have to fucking knuckle down for like the first half of the lesson or whatever, and then once it's done, so it's like, oh, I'll just give you something else to do, and then like the work just piles up for everyone else and they'll fucking hate us.
Yeah,
or it's just like, okay, do something else, and we just vibe out.
Yeah, you just like
catch up on work.
It's like you have some teachers when you finish their work, they give you like harder work to do. No, our software teachers like, yeah, go vibe. You've done the work. Good job.
Nice. That's it. You've fulfilled your duty.
Yep.
Now, be free.
If we're both in mutual agreement that you're gonna do no work and I'm gonna do no work, because works for me.
Yeah.
To wrap up the Game Jam talk, I just got a ping on the Brackies server. The Brackies Game Jam is literally the start of August.
Start of August.
Yeah, why would he put it so close?
I don't know. Yeah, that's like you can barely even recover before it slams.
People are still catching up on sleep from fucking.
Are we doing it?
I don't know if we'll do it, to be honest.
What are the dates?
1st of August to the 8th of August.
Wait, the
1st
to the 8th?
The fucking entire week.
Oh, I don't know about that.
School.
I don't know. I can't do a week. I can do a week.
I can test my stamina juggling.
No, I still have.
We'll have some
to edit
stupid
the
assessment
videos.
task.
I still have to edit the videos and shit from this jam.
Yeah, I reckon if there's like a weekend jam in the next holidays, I'll be down to do that. But I don't know about August.
Yeah. Anthony, you reckon you'll do it?
To be honest, I probably won't.
Yeah, no, I
But
think we're all being
I'll-
fairly real here.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
I'll
sorry,
probably end
brackies.
up-
So
Yeah. I'll probably end up starting work on the STEM comp stuff.
Yeah, I literally,
Oh, yeah,
I've
shit.
touched that once this entire break. I've had four, I think 4 or 5 days off this holidays from work. I fucking wasted 3 of them on this Game Maker's Toolkit Jam. So
Hey, you didn't waste
the
any
last
of
thing I
it.
really want to be doing on those other days is more coding, if I'm being real.
yeah, I've barely touched it for art.
You
This
fool.
break either. Yeah.
Silly Billy.
No, hey, I did the fucking animated Soulcube icon, right?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I had to get my head around using Adobe Photoshop timelines with layers. And oh my gosh, that was a
Dude,
headache
you know
and
what?
a
I
half.
wanted to
Fuck
put the
me.
animated logo on the canvas competition thing in
The what?
in the canvas challenge this Saturday.
Oh right.
Yeah, I wanted to put the animated logo on that as a GIF, and fuck me, it literally killed the entire program. I was like, nah, screw this.
Yeah, it's awful, dude.
Well,
Anyway, yeah, and then I had to figure out how to use Adobe Animate, which previously is Adobe Flash, and it's all retarded. The worst part of Animate, right, is get this. There's no scrubby zoom. You know, in like Photoshop, how you can hit Z, and you can like scroll like in and out, right?
Yeah.
You can like scrub. There's nothing. There's no scrubby zoom in Animate. You have to do like the old classic where you hit fucking Z, and then you have to draw a window, or you have to manually select your zoom. It's awful.
that
Like,
sounds like a
It's a
blast.
fucking 2020 program. There's no scrubby zoom. That's been around for Photoshop for years. It's ridiculous. That pissed me off beyond anything else. That was like one of the 7 deadly sins. Actually, there was more than 7. There was like probably about 28 deadly fucking sins that I had to put up with. But, oh man. Anyway, it's done. I
Rant
probably will
over.
never touch.
Rant
I
closed.
probably will never touch Animate ever again. I hope I don't have to. Fuck.
In before we change the Soulcube logo, hey Max.
Oh, before we can rebrand out of nowhere, I have to reanimate something.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah.
Rad. I think that. Anthony, did you have anything else you wanted to say about the Game Maker's Toolkit? Yeah, more.
Not really. Nothing much.
No, neither. That Tell Us Tuesday this week was like, it was like a hypothetical thing, just like a 1-sentence pitch for a jam.
Yeah.
But we already like discussed through some of the other ideas that we already had. So I don't think there's much point. Just someone like refactor one of those into a sentence, and there you go, you have it. That being said, there's only one segment left of the podcast. I think we all know what that is. Isn't that right, Moz?
Yes, we do know what it is.
Yes.
Ooh, are you prepared, buddy?
Well, I just opened up my phone. Have a quick little squeeze. Yes, and
Quick squeeze.
it's, your good old Moz's meme review. Because we all love,
Meme
Moz's.
of the week.
Moz's meme.
Oh,
Meme of the week.
meme of the week. Yeah.
So, are you stalling, or have you got something for us?
Yeah, have you got something? Come on.
Because we are getting pretty late already.
No, yeah. No, wait.
No, wait. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let me
Speaking
just-
of the. Tell Us
Wait.
Tuesday before-
Okay. You
No,
go.
he's ready.
No,
Never mind.
no. You go.
All right. So, because since we didn't do Soulcast on last Saturday, we had the Tell Us Tuesday from the previous week as well. Did we want to talk about that? Or?
I tuned out. I spaced out. What did you say?
Oh right. So
Like my
Because
brain
since-
just left consciousness.
Bye-bye.
I zoned in when you said, "Did you want to talk about that?" I was like, "Fuck, oh boy."
fuck was a question I have to reply.
Yeah.
No, yeah, because since the Game Jam was on the Saturday, we didn't do the Soulcast then, which means that we haven't talked about the previous week's.
No,
Tell Us
fuck
Tuesday.
that, dude. This episode's going on for way too long. We'll just save that for the
Yeah.
another.
Okay, so
All right, save it
Moz's
for a rainy day.
Yeah, we need Moz's meme.
Okay,
We'll
so
wrap it up with a banger meme.
one. Okay. Oh, a banger one. So I was gonna talk about the Helvetica standard, but I probably won't now. I really like the. You know the what's the film? You know the I'm so tired meme? It's got that old. It's the guy from. Oh, it's a movie. It's like a puppet movie.
Yeah, Caroline. Or
Yeah,
whatever it is.
Caroline. That's right.
Yeah. What a fucking.
No, that
Figure
meme when it
James
has him and the guy from The Incredibles, I think.
Well, Mr. Incredible at the fucking office.
Yeah, that it's so good because they have copy pastas of them like doing random shit, but it like contextualizes how people feel like currently, especially like people coming out of like being stuck at home in quarantine and shit, being on nothing phones, and it's like just the whole thing, like the I'm so tired, because everyone can relate to that feeling of being like tired, and it's also like off, when Caroline like it's like you take the "Are you winning, son?" meme, but you take a spin off it. Have you seen that one? Where it's like, "Are you winning?"
Yeah. I thought that was gonna win the meme of the week.
Yeah, it's like because it draws it back to the questions that like all of these things currently that happen and all of these things, they're just tiresome.
Yeah, we're just sick and tired of this fucking year.
Yeah, wearing down on people, and it's like, that "are you winning" thing, because it's like, are you winning in life? Well, you never.
Yeah, are you on top of things or not? Yeah.
The depressed, saggy looking guy, especially when he's coupled with Despicable Me. Like I saw one which was like a role play thing when they're like role playing like uwu shit.
Yeah, and like they're all dead like compared to what they're actually doing. Yeah, it's
just an embodiment of some of the things that happen in the 21st century currently.
Yeah, like I've seen ones. Yeah, like I've seen ones where it's like two artists on like social media or some shit, like communicating like, "Oh my gosh, I love your art style so much," like exclamation marks and all that, and they're just both so fucking dead just talking about it, like there's nothing behind it at all.
And everybody can relate to that, like, because like I know that most of the time when I say like lol or laugh, like
Deadpan.
I may have made a little smirk, but that's it. Like if I say lamau, that's when I actually like laugh, but if I just say ha or lol, I just barely even do anything, and that's exactly
or it's like when people say like "I'm fucking screaming" like all caps, and then just a straight face like mild amusement.
It's a good meme.
Everybody
can, I reckon like I like that meme too. That one's also very good.
It touches me on a personal level, because literally I didn't know this was a thing that like other dads did. My dad says like, "Did you win?" Whenever I come back from anything. Like I come back from like he's like fucking school. He's like, "Did you win?" What the fuck do you mean? Did I win?
My dad does all the time.
Dad he thing? Comes. My dad comes in and he asks the exact same thing, like, "Are you winning?" And no, like whenever I do it, sometimes I'm like, "No, I didn't even know what winning is."
Damn. Deep.
Yeah, I know.
Hit him hard.
Anyway, yeah, it's a very good one. Everyone can relate. But I reckon that's why it works so well. Yeah. The dead or saggy. Oh well. With that, is that everything today?
I think that's a wrap.
I think we should wrap it up.
I think that's a wrap.
Should I speed run all the fucking?
Yes,
speed run all your stuff, and then we'll hand over to Anthony to speed run his stuff.
Yes, of course. Alright, so if you enjoyed the podcast episode, please be sure to subscribe for more. Like it if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it so much, that's okay, democracy. Anyway, if you want to get into some more stuff with Soulcube, head over to our YouTube channel. It's pretty close by because you're on the fucking video. Anyway, we have more videos, we have devlogs, we have a Discord with community things and events that you can win money from. Go check it out. We have Instagram, we have Twitter. We don't have Facebook because fuck Facebook. We don't have. Okay, that's basically it. Anth, your turn.
So same thing. I've won some of that money. Go do it. It's good fun.
It's legit. Oh,
first hand.
This is evidence. Yeah. We brought evidence.
Yep. It's good. I've got itch. I'm on the Discord. I'm usually on when I'm not doing other things, which is surprisingly too often.
Say hi to Anth for us.
Yeah, say hi to me. I've got Twitter, I've got Instagram. I mean, I've got a Discord server, but no one uses it. So I mean, like, you could stop and say hi, but no one will be there.
So it ghost sounds like, boys, we're taking over this
like,
joint.
Yeah, you can take it over. No one's there. Yeah.
You rent it out. You should charge some fees.
Yeah, I might start putting some more stuff up on my YouTube though soon. So
Nice.
keep an eye out.
Yeah,
for
just
that.
send me a list of the shit you want me to put in the description.
Yeah, I will.
And check all that out.
Easy.
Thank you.
I think we gotta sign off then, boys.
Thanks for coming along, Anth.
Yeah.
So-
Yes, thank you.
First
thanks
guest
for
in a
having me.
while. You no problem.
Hey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Alright.
been good.
Solid stuff.
Hey.
Bye-bye.
Alright, peace.
Bye.
Alright, see ya.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.